I don't really know if we need ash and sand. What we really need are actually these rocks.
Yep, but the pixies are assailing you at every turn, so they must be cold.
I do like the action system in this. It's not half bad.
I suppose they have to find different ways to make turn-based combat exciting.
Yeah, and so I've always liked ATB gauge games. I do wish you could kind of turn on pause mode so that when your action rolls by, you can
plan everything out ahead of time and make sure everything's in line.
Yeah. I'm a little leery of, like, eventually getting to the point where we have so many things that we can do that it's like, oh god, flip through menus. Maybe I can customize it more, but I don't know. Okay. I don't necessarily know if we need lightning ore, but...
And you have aqua ore, too.
Yep. Problem is what I need is thread.
All the thread was outside, though, wasn't it? The spider webs?
Yeah. See, the guy with the glasses looks like a younger version of Ignatz. Yeah.
It's sort of similar bowl cut.
I am not a fan
hair.
of bowl cuts. Hopefully the battle music changes as we go along. I've also noticed all of the party members seem to be at the same level. I don't know if that's going to be normal.
Well, you never remove them from the party, and they get the same amount of experience, don't they?
I'm assuming Flute Girl joins us later.
Claudia?
Yeah, I'm assuming Claudia joins us, and I wouldn't be surprised if, the Tenacious Rack and What's-His-Face join us later, too.
What do you mean by the Tenacious Rack?
I forget their names.
Oh, the Tenacious Rack. It took me a moment to realize who you were referring to. You mean Lila and Embo.
Yeah, there we go. Like, I get the feeling they might join us as party members, too. And that'll be like a team of 6. That is amusing. That it took you a little while to figure that one out. I don't know.
Well, when I think of Rack, I think of our... Oh, what was it? Oh, in Borderlands, weren't we fighting Racks?
Oh, you're right.
And they were... Those, they were the, like, pterosaur lizard things that were flying around and spitting stuff at people. But... No, a Rack. It's interesting. If you think about it, there are so many names that people dedicate to just that physical feature.
Well, that bomb just instant gives them. That's cool. We're just gonna stick around until my inventory fills up. Less trips out here, better. We actually want to go around hitting these bushes. If I can get some of them to respawn.
What do they have inside them?
Cotton.
Oh.
We're running low on fiber. Nah.
Oh, 2 groups. That made 3 of them.
I think we only have to fight one group at a time. I think the other one just straight up won't come after us. Do you want to play for a little while?
I don't know what the buttons will do.
I mean, all the buttons are...
I see item attack.
Yeah,
something.
So the only thing you have to pay attention to is that in the top left. See how Lent is saying, like, use magic damage. Magic damage triggers his action skill, Turbulence. But otherwise, press B to attack, select to level up your tactics. If you don't, you can hand it back to me.
Okay, so I can skill? What just happened? Never mind. I didn't get to do anything.
Yeah. Combat had already ended. Luckily, your allies just kind of fight for you.
I'm just also afraid I'm going to press the wrong button.
Oh, I guess basket is full. Sorry. I immediately take control back. Thank you for playing, Shell. Your contributions were avocado.
Okay, why don't we leave and drop things off?
Yep. That's the plan. I did want to get his action order one last time.
Oh,
before we
an action order?
Yeah. Because that should get him... I think that might get him just more vitality. I could be wrong. I need more baskets, bigger baskets. Where's this villain?
Yeah, I don't know what it could be.
That
I mean,
didn't
we
work.
do know that there was a civilization that used to live on the island that dissipated. And that water is an issue. Unless there's something going on with the mainland, I don't know.
Okay.
Can we please find the plot?
Almost.
Aww.
I just want... one action command. The problem is we're just murdering them too hard now.
Mm-hmm.
I guess what I should do is just sit here and wait.
Intentionally spare them.
Nope, wrong one. Shit.
Whoops.
It died. Alright, whatever. We'll get it on the next round.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Sort by quality. This is kind of a neat system.
Just so you can throw out some of the
yeah, you can throw out the
less
garbage.
preferable ones.
Okay. And I'll leave crafting for later. We've done enough for now.
You forgot to equip the special items. Urgh.
What? No?
Do you have to carry the blue stones with you?
No. No.
Okay.
Oh,
I was making a comment on how there are instances in other games where you have to have them physically on you.
I hate that. Hey, by the way, we know you have the item, but it's not on your person right now, therefore you don't. You can't complete the quest. You need to physically hand me the thing. Let's see. I have to see if this guy has any new books. Oh, he does have cotton grass, though.
That's helpful.
I'm gonna buy a couple of basic things. I realize that, like, the stuff that I buy from him is probably lower quality, but I just needed it to make a couple of things. The old man has another quest for us. Old man! Hello, Ryza. I'm glad you're here.
Hey, Edward. You're in a good mood.
You remember those alchemy items you made for me the other day? I fell asleep staring at them, and then I had a dream. I think it may actually have been a memory.
What was the dream?
Well, I was part of a huge army that traveled all over the place. I was the army's physician. I was there along with that alchemist I told you about.
Whoa! Really?
I can't be sure it actually happened, but everything was so clear and real. It definitely felt like a memory.
If that's the case, maybe it really did happen. Do you remember anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Maybe Uncle knows something about that alchemist.
I actually went to see him the other day, but he didn't know anything either.
Oh, I see.
I do feel like I'm remembering more, little by little, but I'm kind of afraid to find out the truth. Completely forgotten about all those people I spent so much time with. What will I do if I remember?
I wish I knew. But for now, just keep living your life. You can decide what you do once you actually remember.
That's true. I'll leave that as a long-term problem. Thank you. I feel a little better now. Usually I'm the one taking care of others, but I guess I was the patient this time. If I do remember anything, I hope we can talk about it again.
Anytime.
And he pays us 30 cents. Bye. Man, I'd love it if people just paid me to talk to them. Oh, wait.
Well, you did provide him with all of those.
No.
Oh, never mind. But that's not a with, that's a to.
I mean, I respond to people.
This is exactly what I was looking for. I'm surprised you found it. I'm glad to see you can follow directions, even when confronted with a new situation.
Wait, hold up. That ribbon that goes down her, like, abs? Wraps around her
belt on the other side.
And then becomes a thong.
Yes.
What?
Wow.
I thought the shorts were one full piece until just now, and then I realized, nope. Damn.
I still think those are ears. Or something weird.
Yeah.
I already said that.
Oh. Wait, so that's it? We passed? I feel like that was a little too easy. What were you expecting? Don't tell me you were actually worried.
Today was a practice test to see how you'd handle yourselves on your own when you visit new areas.
How we handle ourselves? We've taught you the bare minimum. The rest is up to you. You need to be able to act independently.
Act independently?
That just makes me even more nervous. As it should. Thinking for yourself... Oh, sorry. Lila.
As it should. Thinking for yourself and taking the appropriate action is far more difficult than today's test.
But I'm sure you had fun too, right? How did it feel making your way through an unfamiliar place? It was awesome!
To be honest, it was over way quicker than I expected. Is that it for our latest adventure?
I was pretty darn scared the whole time.
We'll be putting more time and effort into our investigation soon. For now, do whatever you want.
But when the time comes, we expect you to help us however you can. Oh, and Ryza.
Huh?
Synthesizing with new materials is always fun. Going on adventures to find them is a great motivator.
For sure. Can you talk with them? They have something more to say.
Kinda. Story. Where do we go next? Wait a day, return to Empel and Lila's. Okay. Even a common pub. Okay, we've already heard that. So they actually don't have anything new to say.
So we just have to expend a day cooking things, maybe talking with people.
Yep. Let's see, what do we need? Natural cloth and bestial air. One of those probably less doable. Alchemy fibers and plant essence. Oh! Let's see, where is it? Recipe. Now have access to a new thing. Highest quality new thing. Deep cure. Curse protection reduces defense slightly when using this item. Let's not do that, because I'm not entirely sure how this works. Let's see, anything else I can specifically do? So we need plant essence. I don't actually know where to get that. So I should probably get some more blue supplements along the way. Well, we should probably also check out, see how much time passes doing alchemy.
That's true. I would expect it to perhaps be part of the afternoon.
What do we need? Fragrant honey tree. Oh, hey! You know what we can do?
What?
Now that we've,
Oh, are you upgrading your gathering tools, or
no,
what's
weapons.
Weapons.
We've unlocked a new recipe. I'm curious what role is. Equipment support level goes up based on material loot level? No, that's something else. I noticed there's a role that we might be able to unlock.
A role as in a class?
Possibly? It just says role there, but that might just be role within the item itself.
Mm-hmm.
Random gear.
People are saying that the plot is still eluding us. Well, maybe after we discuss things with Empel and Lila again, something will come up. Because all we did was pass their test. To see how we'd fare in new situations.
Oh, shoot.
In new territory.
Okay.
Bronze Eisen.
Only an hour passed, I think. Which is unfortunate.
Huh.
Also, we have to go kill more of those creatures.
For the Helioprox?
For the...
For the type of metal?
Whatever the ore was called, yeah. So, let's just...
So we have to go back to that cave several more times and just defeat those...
Just one more time.
Okay.
I'm just gonna go fight the harder enemy a couple of times. And that'll get me some new weapons. Feels good. Also gonna grab some spider web.
For the thread?
Yep. Because we need restraint silk. For a lot of stuff. Falling asleep shell?
Yeah, there's... I mean, it is getting late. But also... When is the rising action going to occur?
Where's the story? Yeah, I know. I don't know. It's weird. Because, like, the more we play this, the more I'm actually just kind of used to it. Just
used to it?
Yeah. Like, I think originally I was kind of waiting for some story to happen. But now I'm just kind of like, I'm just along for the ride. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It is a little baffling that we are effectively 6 hours into the game. And oh, these are not the hard ones. These
No, these are normal ones. I don't know where you'll find more of that material.
I probably should have gotten Lent his sword first. Maybe? How much damage does he do?
I really like the modeling for the weapons, and I'm glad that when you get a new weapon that the model changes.
Yeah, I wish that actually came into effect with the... Where are the harder ones?
Go down further into the cave. Maybe they'll be...
Oh yeah, here they are.
No, that's a mixed group.
Oh, yeah, they are just a mixed group.
2 difficult
They're
ones
easier,
and an
though,
easy one.
which is good. Like, they have half the HP that they had last time.
So now you can more easily gather resources from them.
Yeah, well, also, we got Ryza a considerably better weapon. So that should help as well. Because she actually does, like, a decent amount. And I figured out how to do the combat system, which is specifically trigger these effects as often as possible. I kind of knew they were a thing, but the ability hadn't clicked yet. And now it's clicked, and now I know how it works.
And did you get the special ore? Yes.
I got some of it. I need to get a little bit more. I can also probably start chucking bombs at these things.
This whole lower area is full of the blue ones.
Which is good. Rock puppets. So what's a storyline in a JRPG that you've never seen before that you'd like to see?
A storyline in a JRPG?
Yeah. Or a storyline that you haven't seen in a while that you'd like to see again. Or just a trope that you miss. I still want to play a JRPG where the main character is actually like an old experienced guy.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the ones that you prefer because it's terrible that most games are just the, young protagonist is making their way in the world and discovers that they have a new power and stuff. It's, in a way, it's just the...
It's power fantasy.
Yeah, essentially.
And
the
really,
everyman
I'm
becoming something
this
great.
Because, like, it's kind of a power fantasy of, like, hey, the world's bigger than you had been led to believe. Which I rather enjoy. Like, it's not that these characters have developed some kind of new superpower. It's just that, you know, they're out in the world, they're doing things.
Trying to think of something I'd like. Something that I wish I could see in a JRPG. I mean, less fan service, but that's a given. Something I would like to see, maybe something with more siblings or family members. You know?
There was a moment,
because we played Mortar recently, and I really did like how there was a family dynamic to that one too. I suppose it's interesting. The older we get, we start to appreciate older characters. I mean, I always liked wise characters when I was young too. But characters that are older and more experienced and have a past and have character flaws and such. And then also characters that already have ties and aren't... I mean, these guys are best friends and they've known each other since childhood, I suppose. But they're still kids in a sense. But usually the parents are either dead and non-existent, or they're just the, you know, stay safe, sweetie, or you can't do that. That's dangerous. But it would be really cool if you actually had a parent that was a kick-butt adventurer that helped you along your quest, or maybe even is the person that the main character has to save, or maybe it's the opposite. I don't know. Just
wait, what?
What?
I just hit this ancient pillar and got resources.
You got ancient pillar. Yep.
Was not aware that that was a harvestable thing. That didn't work. Fable. You know, I haven't played Fable 2, so I don't really know how that one goes. Fable 1 and 3 were definitely like, you're kind of a special person. I know Fable 2, which I really want to play at some point. One of the subversions is like, straight up, I think your dog dies, but you can like sacrifice like a buttload of people to get your dog back.
Here's another thing that I want, and this is something that I want in most media that's sci-fi or fantasy related, but I just want there to be interesting character races that aren't human, where there are protagonists that are part of the main cast that aren't human.
Yeah. Maybe
even the main protagonist doesn't have to be human. I'm not talking elves and dwarves, I'm talking about things that are more creative, even than that. Because part of what I enjoy about science fiction and fantasy is learning about unique alien cultures and such. And, you know, they might have different physical properties or abilities and societies that are vastly different from humanity. But it just seems like everything is always just especially in fantasy games, a different take on kind of medieval architecture and clothing, and you might have the same towns and villages, maybe feudalism, maybe a king and such. I'm just looking for something a bit more creative.
Did you pay too much attention to the setting for Disco Elysium?
Yeah.
Because the setting for Disco Elysium was obscenely cool.
But everyone was still human, and it was still very human situations.
It's true. But, like, one of the plot details that you can find out if you talk to an NPC long enough is that their world is straight up fracturing. That there is this featureless void called the Pale that is slowly devouring everything.
But it seems inconsequential, at least to the case and what you're doing.
Yeah, so that's actually one of the interesting plot points about it is the universe as you know it is ending, and you can do nothing about it because you're just a cop. And your character can have, like, a really bad mental breakdown right then and there. Which, obviously, kind of something you want to avoid, but I just thought that was really interesting, because it set the scene in such a wild way, and now I'm, like, drooling for the potential for a sequel someday.
It makes me wonder if there was ever an instance where, say, an asteroid of gigantic proportions, enough to actually cause a cataclysmic collision that would destroy humanity. Would there be enough forewarning? Would there be enough rockets or weapons or things to avert it or to destroy it before it gets here? Or would people be consigned to death? And also, there's the potential of, in science fiction and fantasy, when they have in situations like that, especially in science fiction because that's where it's more prevalent for asteroids, isn't there also the moral quandary amongst the scientists of, do we reveal this to the public and potentially cause worldwide panic, or do we give people an opportunity to live the last days of their lives knowing that they're going to die, but hopefully they live it to their fullest? At the same time, then there are the people that are like, there's no consequences.
I think I'd still prefer, like, if I knew that somehow we only had, like, 2 months left before, like, the world's destroyed or something horrible happens, I think I'd still prefer to know, just so, like, I don't squander it, you know, going out grocery shopping, for example.
Mm-hmm. I would just be worried about, yeah, the violence breaking out.
I think that's valid.
Because there would probably be people that steal and loot and, you know, harm people because they know that there aren't going to be consequences later. They're not going to be captured by the police or sent to jail or
True.
Have to go to court.
But I'd have to imagine those people are going to be less common than...
Hopefully.
Like, what's the point of going out and stealing something, for example, if
everything's going to end in a couple days anyway.
Yeah.
It also depends on the time frame. Yeah, what if it's days versus months versus years? You would think with years, though, there would be enough time for some solution to be crafted in some way.
That would be a really interesting JRPG. Or just RPG. That the game has, like, a 5-month time limit. And no matter what you do, it's the end. Maybe? Or, like... It's weird. Like, you always have these RPGs where, at the end of it, you know, like, if you don't defeat the final boss, like, something terrible happens and stuff like that.
But you want to know what happens when the terrible thing happens.
Maybe not necessarily that. I'm more thinking of, like...
That would be really interesting, too, where the first half of the game is your characters trying to get to the big bad and failing, and then the second half is undoing. But isn't that what Ocarina of Time is?
Kind of, yeah.
Ocarina of Time is when you accidentally cause the big bad to come into power, and then the second half of the game is you essentially trying to correct that and rally people against him after the quote-unquote post-apocalypse. Though it's not really an apocalypse, it's more of just a very oppressive rule. But
no, I was gonna say, like, I think there needs to be more JRPGs where existential dread is a larger factor, as maybe as sad as that might be.
by existential dread, do you mean...
Well, like, almost always
inevitable?
the villain is a villain. You know, how many JRPGs... Well, let's say, easiest example we can think of is actually Lost Sphere. How everything was being forgotten.
Yes.
But Let's see, 1 second. What's that? Oh, stake hammer. There we go.
Well, also, when we played Oninaki, that was the enough souls are being gathered that were
but
into
it was
some
still
giant monster.
a villain. That's the problem. There was the monster that you just had to go kind of kill. And I wonder if it would have been better, to some degree, to have a...
The whole thing of souls aren't being recycled.
Yeah.
And humanity's just gonna end.
Yeah, that there just aren't souls cycling back into the system anymore. And so no matter how much you do, how much you try and fix right now, the world still ends at the end of the game. How much good do you do, or how much bad do you do in the middle of it? I guess...
that reminds me of a movie called Children of Men that I always intended to see. It was about how everyone on Earth becomes sterile, and there are literally the last people that have children. There are generations of children that are growing up, and there's no one younger than them. And I think the premise of the film is that it's discovered that a woman is pregnant and that she might have a baby, and there might be hope. They might maybe find a way. Like, why is she capable of having a child? That kind of thing. But I don't know. That was definitely I think it was based off a novel. That was a post-apocalyptic book.
What do you think of an idea? Sorry, I'm just gonna read this. What do you think of an idea where it's the second generation of adventurous family? The kid has to deal with being forever in the shadow of his or her father and whatnot. I mean, that's actually pretty close to one of the, like, sort of stories that I keep trying to write as a book.
I think I've seen a number of those. Actually, isn't that a fairly common theme in anime?
Yeah, where
because Naruto had the famous father.
Yeah, and then it's not uncommon. It's not an uncommon trope. I think the question is, like,
Inuyasha had the great demon father.
I think my one problem with all of them, though, is, like, the great demon father is no longer around.
Yeah, they're
like,
always dead.
Yeah, you're living in the shadow of a dead person.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I would like it more, almost, if it was you're living in the shadow of a living person. Because, yeah, how many plots are there where, like, your character's parents are alive, important, and don't die in the middle of it? Not much.
I mean, one could argue that there's characters like Ben Solo, aka Kylo Ren.
Those, like, weird dumb gem things that the rich dude gave us, actually useful for alchemy. We just use them to make a hammer staff. Because
I always thought that he would have more character depth if he was resentful of the fact that his parents and his uncle were, you know, such esteemed heroes, but actually hadn't really succeeded in doing anything to help the galaxy or preserve peace. Or, you know, you would think that that inadequacy would make you frustrated if you yourself didn't live up to those expectations.
Ish. I guess conversely, like, my dad is a relatively famous scientist, and, like, in general is actually a kind of an important person in his own quiet way. And, like, he will do more than I ever will. And I don't think that bothers me.
At the same time, you guys are in very different fields.
True, but, like...
And yeah, they're the people that make a difference behind the scenes and do a lot of good, but in different aspects of other people's lives. And I don't know. It's really hard to define one's value based on their contributions, because everyone has meaning in the lives of friends, family, acquaintances. And of course, there are things that are tangible. there's, people who develop cures for diseases and such. The lives of anyone who survived because of the aid that those inventions rendered, then yeah, that's a tangible effect that can be measured to some extent.
Given the amount of people that have messaged you saying you've brightened their day, saved their life by cheering them up, I think you're doing rather well yourself. Oh, it's true, but like... My dad was one of the, like, main people on the Human Genome Project and was given, like, multiple high-level awards? Question mark?
He's still getting them.
Yeah,
though
he's still getting them.
Your parents joke about what the awards are precisely.
Yeah, they make fun of them, but, like, my brother was talking about it at one point. He's like, this is actually, like, a kind of big deal. Like, I know they're making fun of it, but, like...
Mm-hmm. Well, that's because your brother is in the sciences himself.
Yeah. I'd have to ask him about that at some point. If this sort of thing, if there is any kind of feeling of, like, living up to our father's name.
I can only imagine actors and the children of politicians.
Yeah.
Politicians and entertainers, their children probably have it, I don't want to say bad, because so many of them do become successful in part because of the success of their parents. I can't tell you how many times I've looked up an actor or an actress and realized, oh yeah, they're the child of an entire family of actors and actresses, including, grandparents and cousins, and do you know what I'm getting at?
Yeah. Or
they're in different parts of the same industry, whether they be producers or directors or writers or musicians and things of that nature, and you realize, there's probably to some extent, some nepotism in the field, because there are people that are rendered more opportunities because of the positions that their family and friends have. Oh. What's wrong, Tao? Did you run all the way here?
Oh, Ryza, sorry. I'm kind of in a hurry right now. I ran into Boston Lumbar a few minutes ago.
And so you ran all this way? Come on, Tao. You need to fight back. Aren't you sick of them pushing you around?
The fact that I can run away and still keep my books safe proves I've grown. At least a little bit.
Oh, will they destroy his books?
Yeah, probably.
Huh?
After spending time with you, I'm able to run away a lot easier. Can't fight, but that's good enough for me.
Really?
He's not a monster. Boss isn't going to kill me. If running away solves the problem in the moment, that's fine.
It sounds like you've gotten a lot more brave, in a weird way.
I'm starting to get better at reading all those old books. I can't be bothered with little problems.
Speaking of which, I've been wondering, what do you want to do with the stuff you're learning in your books?
What do I want to do?
Well...
I never thought about that.
What do you mean? If that's true, then why have you been working so dang hard to translate them?
Did I never tell you? See, our library is overflowing with those books.
Right.
After my great-grandfather died suddenly, they just sat there collecting dust. For as long as I can remember, I've always wanted to learn what was in those books and what they meant. I felt like they must have been there for a reason. And thanks to Empel, I've taken that first step. It's not perfect, but I can understand bits and pieces now. So, if you want to know why I'm doing this, that's it. I just want to know.
I understand.
There you are. Boss! Boss! I found him! Okay, time to run away from another fight. See you later. Aren't they supposed to be acting all grown up?
Yep. I really don't know. Sounds like he really has grown as a person. More so than those numbskulls.
Poor old man.
Claim to be adults.
Oh, memorable place.
Not enough information, so we have to find something of it. We have to probably talk with Embel. Also,
Okay.
Can you approach those guys? Boss and Lumbar are up the hill.
Where?
Right back where the doctor is.
Eh?
Yep, they're right
Yeah,
there
they're
on the
there.
corner. Boss, I guess there's nothing left to say. For now.
Let's see. You have an older sister that overshadows you academically, socially, and artistically. I mean, one question would be like, how much older? Because that really does make a difference. Because my brother and I were fairly similar in age.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I probably would have been that sibling. The one that's,
Well,
you know, fairly, accomplished at art, singing, costuming, academics, writing, everything like that. But then again, my brother didn't really care about any of that.
no. Also, not to mention, like, your brother is running at a bit of a handicap comparatively.
Carl.
Well, I mean, like, autism is tough. That's it.
Yeah, but I don't really know if that's information you want to be made privy on stream and then also here.
I don't know. I guess it's just normal for me. You gotta remember, like, a number of my friends growing up have all been autistic. And so, I guess it's been so normalized for me at this point that, like, maybe it's not necessarily always kind to acknowledge the fact that it is a disadvantage, but at the same time, it is an advantage too. Like, my friend Michael in California, that's a common enough name that I don't think I have to worry about it. For a couple of them. But this guy was, I'm gonna say, on the higher scale of it all. His problem is mostly he get overloaded really hard in terms of, like, social situations. So he couldn't be around people. He really kept to himself, and if you, like, forced him outside of his comfort zone, he would shut down, and, like, he wouldn't freak out. He just did not want to be there. And, I'm just gonna head for the beach and grab some things real quick. But he was learning how to program in 4th grade. Not like he started with those, what were they called? Mindstorms. Like, Mindstorms came out when we were still young, and we lived within driving distance to Legoland. And apparently, they went there every day for almost an entire summer. And I remember, like, it had come up in conversation that, you know, how much better he felt as a result of being able to, like, click with something specific that he had never had before. And, you know, previously I'd always just thought of him as kind of an odd duck. I think that was the first time that, like, yeah, autism being this blessing and curse? Question mark? I don't know. Not everybody will think of it that way. Because he was driven in a way that none of the rest of us were.
It can manifest in so many different forms,
yeah,
though.
It's true. Oh, this guy's back. Oh, yeah.
Oh, hey, Daniel.
Oh, hey, Ryza. You're even so much bigger than I.
I'm exactly the same size.
I know. It's just my way of saying hello. Anyway, I got one heck of a story to tell for you.
Really? Tell me.
Haha! Piqued your interest, hmm? But I'm afraid now is not the time.
Huh? Why not?
I believe that every good story deserves a friend, wouldn't you agree?
What do you mean?
I'd like to hear what you've been up to while I've been gone. It doesn't have to be a full-on capital S story. You can tell me about something you made, whatever.
Okay. Well, do you know what alchemy is?
Alchemy. Doesn't ring a bell.
Okay, well, just wait right here. I'll whip something up. I'm going to use alchemy to make something especially for Daniel. A magic tool?
Quality over 40. Oh, right. Yeah, maybe?
Do we have it?
No.
Nah.
Okay, we'll have to work on that. I guess let's do that real quick. Because, yeah, I wonder if getting really high quality magic tools, if that actually has a... Ooh, yeah, that should. Let's just grab those.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess to finish the whole thing about, like, living in other people's shadows and feeling super inadequate.
Oh, and it's supposedly with the rise of social media, it's very...
Oh,
like,
it's awful.
people, I mean, even people that are quote-unquote accomplished have people that they can compare themselves to at either... it's just...
Yeah.
There's going to be numbers tagged onto it with follower counts and, you know, analytics for audience engagement and replies, and, you know, it just seems like before, whereas things were just a mild popularity contest within your school or your working environment or whatever, you just excelled where you were, right? But now it's like people are being pitted against the whole world, especially when it comes to creative fields.
Yeah.
And things of that nature.
Where it's either super quantifiable that somebody else is better than you, or worse, people that,
Well, the thing, too, is there are people that, you know, have amazing stuff, but it just never gains traction, or no one notices it.
Yeah.
And then there are people that go viral for other things.
I remember having so much resentment for certain YouTubers that didn't even feel that special to me, that just, like, shot past, you know, they hit some lucky break, and I'm just like,
and that's
why not
unhealthy,
me?
too.
No,
Yeah,
it's awful. It's terrible for you. I
whole
still
why
feel
not
that
me?
way sometimes, but less so now.
I know I was angry with a beetle.
Yeah, you were.
I will always tell the Beatles story for, like, irrational envy on social media. If you guys don't know, there was this beetle. He's probably dead by now. But a couple of years ago, there was this beetle named Spike the Beetle. And someone just, I think his owner just started putting a marker or a pen in his jaws, and he just kind of dragged it around on whatever surface he was set on. And they became kind of scribble paintings, or scribble drawings, if you will. And the notoriety for it was just the fact that a beetle made this artwork. And the girl got so popular with it, and Spike the Beetle got so popular with it, that I think she was starting to sell these pieces of artwork for, I don't know, it was like hundreds of dollars a piece, and people were just eating it up. And I was thinking to myself, I've spent 20 years of my life, you know, refining my art and finally getting to a point where I feel like it's, you know, getting some notice and people are appreciating it, and, you know, maybe someday I'll be able to work at a professional level on things that I love. And, you know, then you have Spike the Beetle with hundreds of thousands of followers and such. And it's just like, why? And that's definitely unhealthy.
Oh, yeah.
To feel inferior to a beetle.
They even prevent me from looking at old men's asses.
Oh, so he's just looking up at the sky. I mean, that's good for him.
You'll realize just how incredible this island once you see it, see more of the world. Look at those two towers there. Positively,
Doing travels. What? Magic. Oh, magic tool.
Magic tool.
Oh, well, whatever. We'll come back to that later.
People are asking about my art. I think there's a plugin for it. If anyone in the chat remembers
Yeah, I forget.
the link.
Shell? Keeper of Ages? Google Keeper of Ages, you'll get her quick.
Yeah, if it's the, like, one word variety. I hate it how, oh, what was it? Links always scrunch everything together. Yeah, there we go. People have that. Oh, wait, it's Lila again? What's going on? Is she massaging him? What is going on here?
Daniel approves.
Oh no. Hello? Huh? Lent?
Ow! Be gentle, would you? Ow!
See, those are ears!
They are ears.
Just shut up and hold still. What the heck, Lent? What happened to you? Did you challenge Lila again?
Even I'm not that dumb. Ouch.
He was like this when he got here. He won't tell me what happened. It wasn't Boss, was it?
Heh. Really think I'd lose to someone like him? Nah, it was my dad.
Oh! Your dad. That's pretty severe for a father-to-son argument. I think you may have some broken bones.
He's pretty tough, you know? He's a former mercenary, after all. Of course, now he's just a washed-up bum.
By broken bones, do you mean like a couple ribs? That's what I'm thinking here.
Yeah.
She's like sort of patting his back.
Stripes.
So, he beat you again. You really should tell someone in the village about this.
Nah, I'm just gonna keep leveling off of monsters until I can kick his ass. I won't do anything. Everyone in town just avoids him as is.
So he's a former mercenary. And a current lowlife.
Pretty much. Everyone treats him like the plague. Even my mom decided to run off. Told ya.
Ah, yeah, she didn't die. She ran.
Mm-hmm.
Lent.
Just because I'm his son, why do I have to... Ow, damn, what the heck, Lila?
Sorry. I have no desire to listen to you wallow in self-pity.
Sorry.
Besides, there's a very simple solution. Just become stronger than him. That's all it would take.
That's true. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. Thanks, Lila.
Oh, thanks, Lila.
Oh, sorry.
Such obvious advice deserves no thanks. Tend to the rest of his wounds. Consider it part of your training. Okay, you can count on me. Knowing Lent, he probably just needs a painkiller.
From one extreme to the other. Does painkiller sound... That painkiller sounds pretty good, though. Do you mind?
Sure. I'll whip some up and bring it right over. Just hold on.
Character proportions in this game are wild. Yeah, they are. They are nuts.